Please stand quietly for the national anthem. Trafalgar Primary School would like to acknowledge our local Indigenous tribe, Gurna, as the traditional landowners. At this school, we recognise the elders and the Indigenous people who had their own cultural space before us. They had their own way of life and contributed to the way we live now. Thank you to the Indigenous people and the Gurna tribe for the land that we are meeting on today.
I learnt most about how to use technology and in Google Classroom and docs and slides and things like that.
I learnt the most about maths. We learnt about tens and ones. Maths is my favourite subject. I learnt the most about shapes. I halved them and made them into quarters because it was fun and I got to figure out the right answer.
I learned about patterns. Red, blue, red, blue. Liked how we can figure out how to make it.
I like writing because I really like them.
I learned how to do fractions in remote learning. We'd write on number talks, with the fractions that and what it would equal. We did number talks and we would write what we answered on slides.
The thing that I learnt the most in remote learning was fractions. So the teachers would put up number talks where we would have slides where we answered questions and we had to answer as many possible answers that we could think of at that moment. The Google Meets were okay, but you had people glitching out and when there was so many people, it got really glitchy. The good thing about Google Meets was getting to talk with your teachers and other people in your class.
In my class, we learned a lot about decimals and how they can be used and what they can be used in. So in decimal bingo, where you choose from 9 decimals and put them into a bingo chart, and then the teacher would call out different decimals, and sometimes they could be she'd say them in different ways, so you'd have to figure out what it is, and then you could mark them off and I would be the first one to get to bingo. This helped me because I could learn how the different ways decimals were represented.
During remote learning, we did some work on advertisements. So we had to do an advertisement for an animal shelter. I did one about dogs, and it had to say why you should get the dogs from the dog shelter. We had to use some persuasive devices to persuade them to come, also to get the animals from animal shelters. If we didn't have Google Meets, it would be hard to connect with your friends, and that was pretty much the only way we could.
I learned a lot, and I learned about shapes. The shapes that were the same, I coloured in the same colour that we needed to colour in, and the shapes that weren't the same we didn't colour in.
I like doing computer story stuff.
In remote learning, I learned most about maths. We skip counted. We did a shopping activity where we had $50 at one point, and we had to see as much things as we could buy with that on a Target app and Kmart app and that. In remote learning, we could sit on something comfy, not on a school chair or on the ground.
In remote learning, what I learned most was math. In remote learning, I got better at fractions and decimals. Parents let me use a different website for math, and the teacher said it was okay.
In remote learning, I learned the most about maths.
Okay.
In remote learning, I did think mentals, and I did timetables for extra work.
What I learnt most was about rainbow retells, and rainbow retells are where you listen to a story on YouTube and you write down everything about the story. Google Meets were good because you got to see all your friends online even though you couldn't see them in real face-to-face, and it was really fun that you got to see your teachers and friends.
The thing I learnt the most in remote learning is think mentals. Think mentals is where there's different units and there's different math problems that you have to solve. Google Meets were good because I got to see all my friends again because I had to stay home all the time.
Just a reminder, please remember to bring all your school equipment back from home.
This includes library books, laptops, any equipment from school that you've taken home, things like that.
Remember to bring in your dental form back before the end of term.
School council is next Wednesday.
And remember, next Wednesday is school photos, so please remember to be in your full school uniform, and that includes grade 6's black jackets. And remember, wear your black shoes.
School finishes early on the last day. If your surname begins from A to H, you finish at 1:20. If your surname begins from I to Z, you will finish at 1:30 on Friday. And buses will leave at 2 o'clock. And now for the joke of the week. What do you call a pig driving dangerously? A road hog.
That was the last assembly of the term. We hope you all have a great holidays.
Have a great weekend!